Oh, where are we? Wait, here we are. Hey, it's Kyle, A0Z. Welcome to the channel. And look who I got. I've got Michael, KB9VBR.
Well, good evening.
Hello. From KB9VBR Antennas on YouTube. Links are in the description. I have been waiting for this stream for a long time, and I want to get right into it. We are here with Michael because he has a ton of experience about camping, ham radio, and we are going to talk to him about his Teardrop trailer. If you probably have not been on the Twitters, I just bought a Teardrop trailer, and I'm waiting for it to come in. So I invited Michael to be on the channel so I could pick his brain and he could be one of my mentors on all of the things that I don't understand about how to camp and how to do ham radio while camping with a Teardrop trailer. So welcome to the stream,
there you
Michael.
go. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here this evening. So I'm happy to spill my vast array of knowledge in the ham radio camping or the Teardrop lifestyle for that matter.
Very cool. So if you have a question for Michael, put it in the chat, ping me or put question in the chat and we'll get it answered. First, if you are interested in camping and want a Teardrop trailer, go watch Michael's stream or his video. Just type in KB9VBR and Teardrop, and it'll be the first one. And he goes through his whole Teardrop. I've watched it probably 5 or 6 times, just going over stuff and just picking out little things here and there. But let's talk about what you purchased, and
all right,
let's just go from there. So what Teardrop did you purchase?
Okay, well, I bought my Teardrop trailer back. Well, I should say, because it's not just mine, but Chris's too. You know, she's just as invested in it as I am. But we bought our Teardrop trailer in 2018, actually. So we've had it for like 5-6 years. We actually ordered it in 2017, and the manufacturer took 9 months to. We had to wait 9 months before they were able to build it. It's the brand is a TC Teardrops. They're made in my hometown of Wausau, Wisconsin. Okay. So that was the neat part, is that there was such a local connection with the manufacturer. You could actually, pick up the phone and talk to them, go over there and see it, during that whole process. And yeah, so we ordered it, I think, in June of 17, and then in the end of March in 2018, we took delivery. Yeah, and the rest is kind of history, I guess. It's a I don't know if we want to pull up some of the pictures or not.
Sure, so we can. Let's go. All right. Okay, they're up.
We can. All right, and we can kind of talk through it a little bit. There you can see the trailer itself. It's the beautiful thing about Teardrops is that you don't need a big vehicle to pull them. If you're thinking about, when you see people with RVs, recreational vehicles, campers, what's the first thing you think about? Well, how am I going to tow this thing?
Right.
And now you're another 50 grand into a truck.
Right.
So,
right. So how much does your Teardrop weigh?
It weighs about, I think dry weight is about 1,250 pounds. The tongue is roughly, just under 150 or so. I can push that thing around in the driveway. So it's not massive. I pull it with a Subaru Outback. When we first bought it, we had a Forester. The Outback has got a little bit better tow rating than the Forester does. So after our first season, we decided to upgrade to just a little bit bigger vehicle, and that has actually made all the difference in handling and performance.
Gotcha.
When we talk about the towing part of it.
So do you have what type of gas mileage do you get without and with towing?
Without, I get between maybe like 27, 28 miles per the gallon in the Outback. And when I'm towing, it goes down to about 17 and a half, 18.
Gotcha.
It depends on, if we're flat or if there's a lot of hills.
Right.
It's because it's the Outback's got a 4-cylinder engine, so it kind of, it's hills can be a little bit of a challenge when you're towing. My Outback's a little bit of a rare bird because it's got the 6-speed manual transmission. So
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I do have that ability to downshift and just take it easy. But it's when we drove out to Hamvention and back last May, I tracked my average MPG because I was really curious, and it was 17 and a half. So
gotcha. That's not bad at all. I mean,
no,
that's what my truck gets in the city. So it gets about 19 to 20. So
yeah.
I'm thinking once I get mine and behind my truck, I'm probably going to get somewhere between 13 and 17 miles per gallon, I think. So I don't know.
You'll probably I'm guessing about 12, 13.
Yeah.
What I hear other people say. So
yeah, sounds good. So it took you 9 months to get your camper. And why did you pick that camper? Was there obviously you have a in-town connection there?
Yep.
Was that the main reason, or was there something else that brought that that was camera?
Part of the reason. Back then, 5-6 years ago, the market wasn't as vast as it was now, and we kind of looked at some of the there's a lot of manufacturers now and a lot of options when it comes to teardrops. We looked at a few other manufacturers, what they had, what their prices were. I think at that time the only company really commercially building teardrops was Tab.
Yeah.
And the original tabs and tags, but and those we didn't really like. We went to a couple RV shows, and they didn't really just feel the same to us. We're longtime tent campers. So when the kids got out of the house, we were looking for something just a little bit more. I don't want to say luxurious, but comfortable.
Yep.
So, and this, I think, this teardrop sort of hit that kind of sweet spot between, in comfort and still you still got that nice open experience, and it can go just about anywhere. So we liked the manufacturer. We liked what he was doing, and the price was right. So that's what we went with.
Yeah, you've hit on a lot of points that I was trying to go through. I went through that phase of, well, I'm just going to get like a big, huge RV, but you're totally right. Like if I took that thing out to like the hills of Colorado with a Toyota Tacoma, a camper that dry weight of 3,700 pounds and pulling it with a Tacoma, that wouldn't have been safe. No. And so, and I like to tent camp too. So I went through the whole like reckoning of, okay, I'm going to get this as a stepping point, and we're going to see how this goes. And then if this, falls in my face, then I'll sell it and do something else. But if I like it, then, this can be maybe a stepping stone to something else. So, yeah.
We knew that the one thing we didn't want was a pop-up or anything like that, because it was just that just didn't feel right for us. And
right. So did you get your camper? I know that you've done some mods to it. Did you basically get your camper stripped down and said, all right, I'm going to do mods as the time comes? Or was there a lot of things that you got? What did you get? What did you not get that you wish that you got? How about that?
Sure. Okay, well, so let's see, I'm not going to get to the next picture here. So this is the camper the day we picked it up.
Yes. Okay. Got it.
And it's pretty, there's a big difference
Yeah.
between the
Oh,
two.
yeah. 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 Yeah.
We got, it's we got a pretty Spartan build, and things that we were glad, what we did was, the manufacturer on the front platform there, they can put a toolbox on.
Yep.
We said, well, maybe we can upgrade to that later. We didn't get an awning right away. Well, we've got pop-up tents from our, and whatnots, that we put over picnic
Yep.
tables. We can use those in the meantime. So we didn't get something like that, and that shaved a few bucks off the initial purchase price, which was good because it's this is an investment.
Right. Yes.
So one of the things we were glad we got was they offered when because it's custom built. You said, well, you can save a couple $100 by not by staining the interior yourself. And then he said, well, yeah, I can paint, I can stain. And then Chris said, no, let's pay the money. And I'm glad I did.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was quite a bit of work. The custom, there's a queen size mattress in there. We're glad, we were glad we kind of invested in the quality mattress.
It came with a mattress.
Mm-hmm. It came with, you could get, let me think if it, you had to pick, you had a couple mattress choices. So
Gotcha.
we got the mattress that fit into it. Of course, you wanted to get the spare tire, that propane holder on the side. That's something that we're glad we got.
Is that 11 pound tank?
Yep. An 11-pound tank. And, boy, that's, 11 pounds will last us almost an entire season.
Yeah. Yeah. So it looks like to
Mhm.
me, you put a truck box on the tongue.
Yep.
And then it also looks to me that you put a roof rack on and you got some type of 370 degree or 180 degree awning.
Yep. So I'll just move forward here. So so the day after we bought it, this happened.
Good old Wisconsin snow.
It sat in our driveway for almost a month before we got to use it.
Wow. I bet you that was nerve-wracking or it was disappointing.
A little disappointing. The first thing we did is after the first season, we were just lashing down boxes onto that front rack. Yep. We got the utility box, and that's a utility box that fits into a pickup truck bed, and the manufacturer sells that as an option. So you said, if you buy, we'll install it for you for free. So we just dropped the trailer off, and the next day we picked it up with the box on there. And the nice thing about the box is that we can put things in there like we got a toolbox with all of the little odds and ends, fold up chairs, the water jug goes in there, the Dutch oven charcoal, carpets, rugs, things like that, things we don't want in the back of the car. Yep. So that took a lot of stuff out of the car, and put it in its own dedicated spot. So we didn't have to, load bins onto that platform. And
right.
that was really nice, just on an organizational standpoint.
Yeah.
After that season, we added the roof rack, and this is a Rhino rack, 270 degree awning. So the manufacturer put the rack on top, and they installed the batwing awning onto that rack.
Yep.
And it's really neat because all you got to do is just unzip that vinyl cover, and you just grab it, and it just folds out, like a bat wing all the way around. The legs just drop down and into place, and you can have that thing up in 2 minutes flat.
Yeah, and so that obviously protects you from the sun and the and I'm assuming some light rain. But do you do you put that thing away if it's going to like storm? Because it maybe acts like a wing.
It's a lot of times if it's going to be windy and we're going to be at the campsite, I'll just stake it down.
Gotcha.
It's got plenty of tie points. So we might want to sit under the awning instead of going inside the trailer. So we will, there's what it looks like fully deployed.
Okay, gotcha.
And we can get it. I've had this out in 30, 35 mile an hour wind gusts on the shore of Lake Superior. So it's that thing, they're made in Australia. Those things are they're bomb proof.
Gotcha.
Just add more guy lines to it and it'll withstand just about anything.
Gotcha. Bryant asks, how long is the bed and does it have AC?
All right. So the bed, it's a queen size bed inside. I don't remember what the dimensions are for queen size, but
that's 72 or 78 inches.
Yeah, 75 by the trailer's 5 feet wide, so it's got to be about 58, probably 57 by about 70 right. By about 75 inches. It does not have air conditioning. You can get air conditioning units for it, like external ones. And the manufacturer's got like a unit that'll see that window there. You can clamp a hose coupling onto or a vent coupling onto that window, and circulate some air through.
They have now come out. They have now. You're probably talking about. I've seen these portable air conditioner units, like these Zero Breeze and some other manufacturers make these very portable AC units that have like exploded on the markets in the last couple of years. Yeah. And honestly, and I can see the importance of air conditioning, and if you're in a more southern locale, in the northern half of the U.S., it's not so much of an issue. We've got a couple battery operated fans to move the air through, and we've camped out on some 90-degree weekends that haven't. It's stuffy, but with airflow, you're still comfortable even though it's hot. Do you happen to have a max fan on the top of it, or is it whenever you talk about fans, just fans inside the
just
trailer?
Fans inside. This manufacturer does not believe in putting roof fans onto their trailers for whatever reason.
Gotcha.
There's vent holes on the side for ventilation, but there's no fantastic fan or anything like that on the top.
Gotcha.
Okay. The top is it's got a diamond plate top, aluminum diamond plate roof, and it's insulated, so it does stay relatively cool. It's the unit's not going to heat up from the sun itself.
Gotcha.
If you kind of see the top there, 2 years ago I added solar panels.
Oh wow.
That's something I did myself. But you can kind of see, how reflective the top of the top of the unit is.
Is that a 200-watt solar panel?
That's a 200-watt panel.
Wow.
And it feeds. Let's see if I got the picture. Yep. There's in the galley in the kitchen part. The solar charge controller. That's made by a guy out of Michigan called DIY Solar for You, and it's supposed to have no RFI. So the guy is a ham, and he says that his controllers are silent on the HF bands, and gotcha. I haven't picked up any hash at all from the charge controller.
That's great.
There's then a power distribution box. I've got a Victron smart shunt for monitoring power consumption, and that all feeds into a 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery.
Gotcha. Yep. Yeah, that's did you say, sorry, I was reading the chat, 100 amp hour?
Yeah, 100 amp hour battery. Yep.
And so do you run your radios off of that 100 amp hour also, or do you take an external battery?
I take external batteries for the radios. I like to keep what I call the life support system separate from the communication systems. Yeah. So It's so that battery is dedicated to running the electric refrigerator, and lights and things of that nature, and then the solar power. Then otherwise, if I started plugging radios in there, the solar, I don't think the solar panel would be able to keep up, especially if we were parked in the shade.
Yeah.
But with that battery, I can go 2-3 days, even if I
Yeah.
don't get up a lot of sun.
Gotcha. Swamp Fox says, I think you already said the name brand of the solar. He said, is that DIY solar for you Apollo? But I don't think it is. I think it's something. What was that solar controller?
Yeah, it's DIY solar for you, but I think the charge controller is the Apollo controller.
Okay.
So I believe that's the name of it. I'd have to look.
Okay.
So.
And then Douglas, amateur radio and more, links for power. I think, do you have links in your video, your Teardrop camper video by chance?
I believe in the Teardrop camper video, there are links to all of the vendors that I used for like the solar stuff and the and TC and whatnot. So
yeah, so down in the description is a link to Michael's channel. Go and subscribe if you're not subscribed. I can't believe anybody is not subscribed that is in this chat. And then 2, go watch his video on his Teardrop camper. It's from about a year ago, year and a half ago.
2 years ago. Yeah.
2 years ago. And go watch that. He goes through all of the things, and I'm sure that the links are in that description below.
Yeah. And it really hasn't changed substantially since then.
Gotcha.
So, let's see the insides there. You can kind of see what the inside looks like. So,
yeah. I love the wood. That's great.
The wood grain interior. The nice thing, this man, this is a custom builder. So you tell him what you want, and they're using like high grade plywood, marine grade plywood where it's applicable. Those little black discs are the vents that just sort of aid for airflow. One of the things you'll find with Teardrop campers is no matter the brand, no matter the maker model, they're all going to be prone to condensation, especially when it gets cold out. So as you're sleeping inside, as the temperatures outside get down into the 30s, things start to condensation starts to form on the windows and whatnot. So it's
so getting airflow and getting that condensation out of the cab is key, right?
Yeah. We usually, even in the coldest weather, we've got windows. You got a window cracked to let the air move through, and
gotcha.
But that's you don't want to put anything. You don't want to hang your jacket up next to the door because otherwise it'll be wet in the morning.
Yeah. So can you actually, like on a tent, can you actually see it on that wood? Can you actually feel the wood and it's actually damp?
The wood, not so much. You feel it on the windows and the doors because because the rest of the trailer is insulated.
Yeah.
The wood portions, there's a layer of insulation between that and the outer shell. But the windows, not so much. So that's where you're going to get your condensation coming from.
Gotcha. Okay. Very good.
And then I think if we turn around,
here we go. It's the business end of the trailer here.
I don't really operate inside the trailer a whole lot. We usually, I like to sit outside. But I think this was a particularly cold October weekend, so we were indoors. We were in the trailer for the evening already. Those are shelves that kind of extend out. So your feet go underneath, so you get the full bed, and then you can store your clothing and other personal items in there. Gotcha. There's a little pull-out table. And then he's got a couple of plugs, a couple of USB ports, and you'll tell my age, a cigarette lighter for the
yeah, I still call it a cigarette lighter too.
Yeah. So for accessories. So, I just plop the radio down on the little shelf, and then you can see below it, I've got the battery is sitting there, and we just get on the
People
air, and
people are going crazy off of the RC Cola. They're like, RC Cola, what? I remember that as a kid. I didn't believe that. I think that you could get that anymore. I guess you can.
You can. That's Chris's favorite. She drinks that stuff like crazy, and they
Wow.
still sell it. So she probably keeps the bottler in business. So it's
So
and you can see two people can sit comfortably in this trailer.
yeah,
So.
is she weaving like a rug or something?
Yep, she's weaving.
Wow.
So,
Enough to do ham radio and weave. That's great.
That's her jam while we're camping. So.
Wow. That's awesome. So in this picture and in the last picture, so you've got your radio that's sitting on that shelf, the battery is underneath, and then obviously you're setting, you're leaning up against the wall, and your operating position is just, you're sitting down, the laptop is on your lap, and that's how you log in. And so one of my questions that I had was, obviously everything is inside the trailer, but you got to get the coax outside of the trailer somehow. I'm sure that you're probably going to get to that at some point, but I'll let you continue here.
Yep. And actually, I try to keep things simple. I haven't drilled a hole, because once you start drilling holes into the trailer, then you got to worry about rodents getting in. And so I just run the coax through the door.
Okay, gotcha.
For the most part, and that works. It's so
obviously you can't close the door, so you just kind of close it to a point where it doesn't pinch the coax, and you're good to go.
Yeah, or I got a sacrificial piece of coax that gets pinched sometimes, and that's okay. Coax that 8X is cheap, so it's that's why I don't buy the fancy stuff. Because when you're out there camping, it's getting tracked on, it's run through the mud, and it's every couple of years you're replacing it anyway.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there we are. Yeah, there's another one just sitting there. Somebody asked earlier about air conditioning. We don't have any air conditioning, but we've camped actually this year. We camped in mid-November. November was so beautiful up here this year that in order to stay warm, what we've got is a 12-volt electric blanket. And we just plug that into the accessory port, the cigarette lighter, and actually that generates that actually it just warms up the mattress nice, and you can really get quite comfortable in there.
So do you camp? How often do you ever boondock, or do you mostly go to campgrounds that either have electric, or they're, I'm assuming some campgrounds don't have anything, right? They're just a primitive camp. But do you try and book campsites that have electric, so you can have some type of heat or have some type of electricity inside the camper?
No, we don't. I never. Usually, we usually camp a lot of times in the Wisconsin state parks, and they're really known for their primitive nature.
Gotcha.
They do have electric sites, but we never get the electric site. So we're always in a non-electric site. Like I said, the rustic primitive camping. That's why I got the solar panel.
So that's why you got the bigger solar panel.
Yeah.
So you could top off those batteries. Yeah.
Yep. And like I said, the battery will last the weekend. Even in the cold months, the refrigerator's not running so much, so we can use more power for the blanket. And in the hot months, we don't. We don't need the blanket, and it all kind of balances out, I guess.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's a good okay. Good deal.
Yep.
How often do you camp? Do you camp every weekend?
Not every weekend. Usually it's about every other weekendish or so. Although we did the math and figured out we were out over 20 times this last year. So That's over 40 nights of camping, which is just crazy.
Now, do you start planning your camping season now and make reservations?
For some of the places we like to go to that we know are very that are popular and hard to get into, we're going to start. We do start making these reservations in December, January. Like we'll spend we spend 3 days up on Lake Superior, and those parks are harder to get into. So we try to book those dates out in advance. There's some key dates that we'll get planned out now, and then since we don't need the electric sites always go first. So we'll work around that and just kind of fill in the holes as we go through the camping season.
Gotcha. The Travelin' Ham, if you haven't subscribed to the Travelin' Ham's website, or I'm sorry, YouTube, go down and type in the Travelin' Ham's YouTube channel. He's got a great website. He is a full-time RVer.
All right.
He has a question. He asked, what is the coldest weekend you've camped in the Teardrop, and how cold can you go? How cold can you go?
How cold can you go? When the kids were in Boy Scouts, I slept in a tent. It was -5 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh my gosh, that's miserable. Miserable.
I got the patch to prove it. Let's see. When we were camping, which weekend was that? I think that was the November one.
So this last one?
Yeah, I think this last one. It was 26 degrees when I got up because my the water jug had turned into a big slushy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember that my water bottle was starting to freeze up because it was sitting outside. So mid-20s. We do the mid-20s, no problem. It's and the interior of the trailer, the inside will be about 40 degrees, 43 degrees. When it's in the 20s outside.
Gotcha.
So it's you get 2 people in there and it stays pretty cozy. And we keep a lot of blankets. We like I think we got like 2 or 3 wool blankets. So, and those things will definitely keep you warm.
Yeah. Gotcha.
See what yeah.
Oh, the Galley. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I know that's that's where the business is. So
that's where the business is. Yes. You got to eat.
Yep. So, it's the thing, the funny thing about these galleys is that top shelf there always is in disarray because as you're driving down the road, everything is just bouncing around like crazy. So I've been trying all these years. I've been trying to look for solutions to try to keep things in their place, and haven't found anything too workable yet, other than maybe like bungees or netting or something. But
yeah. Have you? Is there IKEA up by you?
There's the closest one would be in the Twin Cities. So.
Okay. Yeah. IKEA has got the nice thing about IKEA, we've got one here in St. Louis, and they're all about saving space, and they all have these things that are compact and whatnot. And I've noticed that there's a lot of people, as I watch more and more YouTube videos of teardrops and mini campers and whatnot, a lot of people go to IKEA to buy little knickknacks and things to save space.
Oh yeah. In fact, one thing I've run into, if you can, they're kind of hard to see, is there's 2 clear plastic organizers. I found these at our local Menards. Yeah. In the I don't know, in the cabinet kitchen area, and those hold like the bottles and the spices, and that's actually worked really well to keep them from flopping around.
Yeah, it's amazing. We've got stores for electronics and stores that specialize in literally in spoons, but you always find the weirdest stuff for your your hobbies and whatnot in the weirdest places, like,
Oh, yeah.
Menard or
Oh, yeah.
like, like a spoon shop, and you're like, oh, that's perfect for my ham radio go bag, and you're just like, I had no idea that it would be here in the spoon shop,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So I think I got another. Yeah. And there, if you look off to the left, you can kind of see the organizer a little bit clearer.
Yes, yes,
So,
yes. And then that the big thing in the Reflectix, that is your refrigerator, right?
yes, it is.
Gotcha.
I
How big-
found that wrapping the refrigerator in Reflectix, it runs less, and also it tends not to collect condensate as much. So
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. And how big is that fridge that you got in there?
I think I want to say it's probably 45, 45, 50, 40, 45 quarts. I'd have to look it up.
Gotcha.
The nice thing, you don't need ice, so that frees up a
Yeah.
lot of space.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
mhm.
So I'm seeing that you're cooking, and you've
Yep.
got some type of pull out, and then you just put your stove on that pull out, right?
There's a like a little counter that just sort of clips onto the back of the trailer, and then
I see.
so that's where I put the stove, and then behind me there's another little pull out work area where we keep a cutting board on. And
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, it's
so
a very compact galley, but if you're only
Yep.
going for the weekend, you don't need much, right?
Oh, you can get a lot done in there. So
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
there, I think I'm making a big pot. I think in that picture I'm making a big pot of jambalaya. We were in an outing last
jambalaya.
September, so it's
And I also see that your bat wing, your rhino cover, or that comes
Yep.
all the way over your galley
completely.
completely. So you're totally covered while you're cooking.
Yep.
Wow. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So it's and I think we got one more. This was taken after a long day of wandering at Hamvention. So
I'm surprised that cap's not pulled backwards and the glasses are on crooked. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can see there sitting in the back. There's just in front of the fire extinguisher is the spotted cow. So it's
That's great. So, yeah, we were talking before the stream. You drive down to Hamvention and you camp in a state park that is that's near Hamvention, right?
Yes.
And
go
ahead.
Yeah, we're planning to go to Hamvention again this year. So yeah, we're camping at I can say it because I already got the campsite, Cedar Creek State Park. So come find me.
And there's a ton of hams that camp there.
Yes, there are.
Like this community thing that I have noticed that, and obviously I have not gotten my teardrop yet, and I will probably experience this while I go camping, but there seems to be a lot of camaraderie, just like in ham radio, where you've got the teardrop community, and you got the camping community, and you've got the ham radio community, and then now you're starting to mix hobbies. And now you have, not only do you have one thing in common, now you have multiple things in common with these people. And now it becomes like this big, huge, well, let's go camping. Oh, you're from Wisconsin. Yeah, I'm from Wisconsin too. Well, let's go camping together. Oh, yeah, you're a ham radio operator. I'm a ham radio operator. Like now it just like multiplies, right?
You better be prepared. And when you start traveling, you better be prepared to answer questions, because you're going to be stopped. You're going to be stopped at the gas station, and people are going to say, "Oh, your camper's so cute. Can I see inside?"
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
They'll ask, they'll say, "Well, where do you sleep?" Or does it get bigger? Or
yeah.
all of those things. You'll be sitting at the campground, and somebody else with a teardrop will wander by and want to see yours and talk and talk, and
Gotcha.
it's crazy.
And it sounds like it's a very open community. It's like,
Oh, it is.
it's just like, you're walking through the campsite and you're like, oh, hey, I like your camper. And then you strike up a 30-minute conversation about it.
Absolutely. Yeah. If it doesn't matter if they if they have the same model as you or if they don't, and if they got the same model, then it's even worse, because now you're talking about so yeah, everybody's, so everybody that has, I think you've got a hiker trailer, everybody has got a hiker trailer is going to stop and you're going to talk shop for a half hour.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, it's even worse, or not even worse, but so there's a hiker trailer meetup that they have, and I'm sure that they've got a TC Teardrop trailer meetup, right?
Oh yeah, they do.
Okay, so I've already booked. It's in West Virginia, and I've already booked my campsite. It's in September, and I'm like, well, I mean, I'm getting this thing. I might as well go to the camp out, right? It's only 8 hours away. I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta go. Right?
You got to go to the camp out just for the fact that you'll be able to see what other users are doing with their campers.
Yeah,
and you will get so many great ideas on, well, why did I think of that? So
good point. That is a very, very good point. Yeah, I never thought about that. Yeah. Because everyone's going to be showing off their trailer, right?
Everyone's going to be showing off their trailer, and you're going to see all the little gizmos and what's it's, and then you're going to ask the other person, well, where do you put your shoes? Because that's the big question in the Teardrop community. Where do you put your shoes?
Oh, yeah. Where do you put your shoes? Obviously, you don't wear your shoes in the trailer, right? So where do
you wear your shoes to bed?
and I guess you don't want to put your shoes outside because some raccoon might walk off with them, right?
That's right. So Chris likes to put her shoes into a weatherproof box, and then they sit outside.
Gotcha.
I'll take my shoes off and set them inside the car, and then just wear a pair of flip-flops,
okay,
back.
gotcha. Gotcha.
And then the flip-flops sit outside, and I don't worry about them getting wet or whatnot. So that's what I do for shoes.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. There is I have seen I think 230 makes some type of like bag that you can put them in. I have seen, so there's a big huge overlanding show here in Missouri called the Mo Expo, and a lot of people go to that and they bring their rooftop tents right on top of their cars or their trucks or whatnot. And I have seen like it's like a shoe bag that sits off the ladder, right? And that's where they put their shoes. So I'll have to take a look to that. But yeah, I like the idea of just doing the flip flop thing. I like my flip flop.
Yeah, the flip flops, they work for me.
Let's see. So I noticed in this picture, man, that looks like a big campsite.
It's about, that is probably a little bit larger than most. I think this was in the Kettle Moraine State Forest. I think they listed the driveway length at about 50 feet.
Oh wow!
So it's it's a little bit longer site. The wide angle perspective kind of distorts things a little bit, but this is kind of typical though in a lot of Wisconsin campsites. Is you've got that vegetation. Between the sites. It's not like going other places like I'm gonna pick on Illinois. It's like not like where you're kind of cheek to jowl, or Michigan.
Right.
A lot of Michigan parks are actually really bad for that. It's like, yeah, they got you just all kind of shoehorned in.
Right. Yeah. I'm wondering, the people in the chat here, as they're chatting away, where are some of your favorite campsites and campgrounds that you guys have been in? I need a list of all the places I need to go. If you got something in the Midwest, that's best. But if you got something out west, I'll take that too. What are your favorite?
We've concentrated mostly in the upper Midwest. Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, and just now sort of spreading out through Illinois and such.
Gotcha.
So we haven't had a chance to take a big out west trip. I think that's on our radar for the next in the next year or so. I know that's something that we want to do.
Yeah.
And,
Gotcha. I used to go a long time ago. I used to go to a place in the UP. It was Marinette and Menominee.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And there was we used to go camping up there all the time. They have this festival called like Waterfront Days, and it's in August.
Yeah.
And we used to go up there all the time. And man, it was beautiful country up there.
Oh,
but you're right. Like the campsites, if I can remember right, they were very all secluded,
Yeah.
and was great because you could basically just have the place to yourself.
Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely. If you look in this picture, if you can kind of see, there's a fair amount of screening between us, and you can sort of see the opening where the next site is. So
Yeah.
but for the most part, they're the primitive sites in Wisconsin state parks are pretty, they're rustic, and they've got this element of seclusion. We like most of the parks. I think we haven't really found a bad park yet. We like them for what they are. Even the Michigan parks, we've been to many of the parks in the UP, and they're really nice parks. They got great amenities. So
Yeah. Gotcha. Let's see. Scout says Scout 75. All right, here we go. Kyle, you've been invited to several of our campouts and you no-showed. No more suggestions until you send deposit money, bud. Right. Go ahead.
I've got the opportunity for you, Kyle.
What is this opportunity? That's
and it's not that far. I think it's the third weekend of March, like around the 24th.
Okay.
The Illinois guys are going to do a pota camp out.
So, I'll have to look that up. Do you know where they have the info at?
I'm not sure the location, but or where the information is, but I know that it's at Lake Shabana State Park, which is kind of it's near it's northern Illinois, near Chicago.
Okay.
So
I will look that up. And but also, so you guys just had your Wisconsin campout, your pota Wisconsin campout, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was that? So I'll have to put that on my calendar for next year, because if I'm free that weekend, Scout, mark my words, if I'm free that weekend, I'm coming up.
It'll most likely be the first weekend in October.
Okay.
And I'm gonna announce the park on the January live stream.
Okay. Very good.
I gotta the third in our group, Travis, he's a teacher, and this is really bad time of year for him. So when the kids go on break, we're gonna take that time and hammer out all those details. So.
Gotcha. Well, we will be watching on the live stream whenever you announce the park, and I will definitely make a effort to get up there, because I think Wisconsin's only about 8 hours away, which is very doable.
I think so. It's I used to drive down to Springfield, Illinois for a show, and it's like a 6-hour drive.
Yeah. Springfield's only an hour and a half away from me. So
there you go.
Yeah.
So you could be at the campground in 8 hours.
Yeah.
8-ish. Yeah.
Cool. Very good. I love these pota, since pota has exploded, now people are doing these pota campouts and pota get-togethers, and they're great. Yep. Not only are you camping and I love the camaraderie that ham radio has, where you're mixing camping and other activities with ham radio, and you're meeting new people and making new friends. It's great.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. It's awesome.
Oh no, absolutely. It's crazy, and everybody, because you've talked to them on the air. So
yes.
it's like when a couple of hams get together in person, it's almost like a reunion.
Yes, yeah. That's why I love going to Dayton. I love going to Dayton because I only see these. I talk to them on the air, but I see them only once a year. But I can catch up within like 20 or 30 minutes, at Dayton, and like literally that's whenever I see them. And they might even live like an hour and a half away from me, but I only see them at Dayton. And and you catch up, and then you're on to the next thing. It's great. I love that type of interaction.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So.
Some other questions. We got 9 minutes. I told Michael we would get out of here on time so he could, because I think both of us are tired and we want to get out of here on time. So let's wrap up your slides here, and then I got some more questions. We'll take some more questions from the chat and we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, no, it's and I know that it's you were asking about how how I operate. So this is I think that's the final couple slides I've got is and this is it. It's I like to sit outside and operate either underneath the awning, that it gives you shade or keeps you out of the rain. So usually, I've got a couple of those fold-up tables. Equipment wise, Yaesu FT891, my dirt cheap Lenovo laptop I've had forever. I carry a little auto tuner with me. Antennas, I usually carry a variety, 2 different wire antennas and a vertical antenna. So it's I've got that flexibility, depending on the campground, the sites and what we can put up. And
so do you find that you have plenty of room in these campsites for like a half wave or an endfed antenna?
Usually I can get up in most of them I could get in an endfed a 40-meter endfed half wave up, no problem. If I can't, we were in a couple of small ones this last summer. Then I just set the vertical up. And when we've camped in Michigan parks, they don't like you to put stuff in trees, so I'll use and their sites are a little bit tighter, so it's then we'll use the vertical antenna there. But if I can get the wire up, the wire's going up. It might go into the the last 6 feet might go into the brush there, but we'll get it. We'll get it up.
Do you find any type of interference or weird things going on if you like string your antenna over your camper or have a funny configuration at the campsite?
Not really. It's usually been pretty good. The only thing that creates a little bit of RF noise I've found in everything that I've got is that electric refrigerator. And that's another reason why I don't plug into it. So it's but if I'm situated too close to it, sometimes I can hear it when it starts to run. But otherwise, I haven't had any kind of RFI problems. I've had RFI problems in campgrounds where from other campers that are really like maybe close to me. And now here I'm going to pick on those Michigan parks again. There was one where it was just a solid S7 noise floor. It was absolutely terrible. I don't know if it was because of a camp because of an RV, or if it was because of it was a lift station or something. I think we were near some of those lift station pumps because it was the campground sort of was really sloped, and we were down by the Lake Michigan shore and whatnot. But it's usually noise hasn't been too much of a problem for me. Storage, we do those Husky containers. So I think one of them's got Chris's yarn in it for weaving. I got one for the antenna, one for the food. People ask, well, how do you go to the bathroom? We do carry a little portable toilet with us with a pop-up tent. So it's
gotcha.
We've got that. And
Glenn likes the wheel shocks that you got, or chocks. However you say that, to keep honest people honest.
Oh, let's see here. Yep. The that's another thing with these little trailers is that they have they're easy. They can be easy to disappear.
Yeah.
Just by nature of their size. So it's
Yeah. I've started that process of trying to figure out, all right, which wheel lock and which hitch lock I want to get. So I have the lock and roll hitch on mine that I got, and man, is there not a lot of choices to lock that thing up. So
no.
I gotta do some more research.
Yeah. So the wheel lock, it's I don't know what kind of a deterrent it is. We haven't hit, knock on wood, we haven't had a problem yet.
Right.
But it's one of those things. I think when people see them, maybe they just keep on moving. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Your best policy is probably a good insurance policy at that.
Yeah.
That matter.
Yep. Tango Oscar Mike says, I'm trying to talk my wife into a camper. Unless it has a bathroom shower, there is no chance. Tom, I went through that same thing. I'm like, I need a shower every morning, and I need a toilet that I can poop in, and I need all that stuff. And I got to the point where I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have to compromise on what I need. And that's why I came up with the hiker trailer.
We got those, well, if we want to talk about, like I said, we got the little pop-up tent and toilet for, if otherwise, a lot of campsites, they got the vault toilets and whatnot too, that usually aren't situated too far away. So that's not too much of an issue. Little wipes, those moist towelette wipes, work really well. You can go a couple days that way,
and also if you're in campgrounds, do you pick ones that have showers in them, or do most of them not have showers in Wisconsin? Tell me a little bit about that.
No, it's 50-50 split. Most of them, a good number of them will have a shower facility. Some of them don't, and some of the most some of the most beautiful campgrounds that we like a lot because they're, just because of their location or their or the views or whatnot, may not have a shower. Like a lot of the state forest ones don't. And
right.
So you can go a weekend.
Yeah. I told I went to the Grand Canyon. There was a bunch of us that went to the Grand Canyon for a pota sota thing, and I told the guys, I'm like, after 2 days, you don't want to be around me if I don't have a shower, not because I stink, I just become unbearable. You know how people can become hangry, whenever they just become angry, whenever they become hungry, I become like that whenever I don't have a shower. I'm just like, get away from me.
I get that. And, it used to be, you'd want to have that shower every day. And then, then we got the kids were in scouts and we started doing those outings, and you don't get that luxury, and you get over it pretty quick. So it's,
okay. Gotcha.
And I think that is, just a couple last pictures. The nice thing about these little trailers is they can go just about everywhere. So
you're on a ferry there.
Yeah, they stick us. They'll stick us in the tightest spots.
Wow, look at that. Do you remember where you're going? Is that across Lake Superior or Lake Michigan?
No, actually that is up near Bayfield, Wisconsin, Lake Superior, the Michigan Bay. So we'd be heading towards Madeline Island. So
gotcha.
So it's
that's awesome.
Yep. So on our way, we usually go there a couple times a year, take the ferry. So
very cool.
And I think that's the last slide. So we can
look at all the stickers.
So
is that the sticker rack that you put all the stickers on?
Yep. So it's as we travel, we've just been collecting stickers and we'll see. We actually did pretty good this summer with 40 nights of camping, filling up the back. So
yeah, very cool. Where's your your RV roadmap, or not roadmap, map of the United States where you fill in the you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, that's the one thing we don't have. So maybe if we go full time, we'll have to get the RV roadmap. So.
Right.
Start filling in the states.
Yeah, every single YouTube video I watch about RV, and they always have that thing displayed, you know. And there's always like a few states that nobody has, you know. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, usually it's something like Nebraska or Kansas or something like that.
As people call Missouri a flyover state. It's a drive-through state. Nobody stays here. It's just a drive-through state.
Exactly.
It's funny. It's funny. All right. Any other questions for Michael? This was awesome. I was looking forward to this, and I am so thankful for Michael for being on the stream and showing off his Teardrop trailer. It was great. Any last questions for Michael about his Teardrop trailer? Anything that you want to promote, Michael, while we're waiting for the questions to roll in?
I don't really have a whole lot to promote. Everybody, I think most people know the channel already.
Right.
But I know I do have a couple of things that I jotted down here. Things I wish I knew when I first got my trailer.
Oh, yeah.
And those kind of come to mind. And we talked about the first one a little bit about towing. So it's hopefully you've got some experience with that already. Before I bought the trailer, I had a boat. So it's I sold the boat to get the trailer, and
gotcha.
So I've had a little bit of experience with that. But
I don't have a lot. I have well, I'm gonna get a whole lot whenever I pick this thing up in a month, and I gotta drive it for 4 hours on my way back to Missouri. So I have towed things. I have towed our trailer tower trailer for the club many times, and then I did tow a small camper on Missouri QSO Party a couple of years, and that was the 4-hour drive also. So I've got a little bit of towing, but I haven't towed anything in probably a year or a year and a half. So
it'll come to you. So
yeah.
You just, when you're on the highway, you just kind of keep it loosey goosey and give people their space. So
yeah. People say that I drive like an old grandpa to begin with, so I think I'm gonna fall right in line. So
you'll fit in. The big thing is when you first get your trailer, the one thing you wish you knew is how to back the thing up, because Teardrops back up a little bit different than other trailers because they're so short. They will cut real quick.
Gotcha.
As you're backing, so just be aware of that. It doesn't take you see the guys that have got the 30-foot trailers, and they just do it so effortlessly.
Yeah.
It's nice because you got this nice long trailer, and you can kind of see it sort of moving one way or the other, and you can compensate for that.
Okay.
With the Teardrop, you just sort of wiggle the wheel, and then all of a sudden you're like this.
Gotcha. Well, I was gonna probably, this was my plan, and tell me if this was a decent plan. I was gonna take it to some type of parking lot, like on a Saturday, and just kind of work out the bugs and figure out, like, just like you said, put some cones up and try and back it up into between some cones and figure out how much I need to turn the wheel to get it to to jackknife,
Yep. That's actually a great idea. And you can kind of get that feeling to it, how it sort of how it handles, how it maneuvers, because another thing too is that rear wheel is so far back to keep the weight off the tongue. So that's another one of those contributing factors for it, sort of swiveling one way or the other so quickly.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, you'll get the hang of it. I was gonna say something else about backing up, and now I totally forgot. But
that's what I have zero experience with. So I will have to learn that real quick. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not hard. You'll get it down. Well, you know what we do for backing up it, and just because you can't see behind the trailer. So I
Yeah.
keep a pair of HTs in the back of the car just for backing up, and give one to Chris, and then she
Yeah.
just stands back there and tells you, she says, go right, go left, driver, passenger, things like that, and
That's a good idea.
That helps immensely.
Gotcha. And then Liberty Cave says, advice: anytime you think about checking the trailer, stop and check the trailer.
We got a checklist, and we do, and both of us go through that list. When we're hooking and going, we either we're leaving home or leaving the campsite. I'll check to make sure that the hitch lock is on, that the chains are on, that the lights are connected, and check the door, walk around, do the entire walk around, and then Chris will do the exact same thing. She'll do the same. She'll make sure the chains are good, that the wires are connected, and the lights are on, and the whole 9 yards. So we got both of us looking for those kind of those kind of things. So those checklists are very important. And
Gotcha.
So far we haven't lost anything yet.
Gotcha. Yeah. I need to. What I'll do is whenever I get mine, I've got a bunch of friends that have quite a bit of land that is away from the house, and I think I'm going to go down there. They've got RVs too, so they can. I'll do a couple of shakedown runs, right?
Yes.
And figure out what I need and what I don't need, and they can help me work through some bugs from their experience too, to be like, well, you're talking about this, but you really don't need this because of these reasons, and yada yada.
Yeah, we did that when we first got ours. The first thing we did was took it. Well, after the snow melted, is we took it. Yeah, we went to just a local county park that was only a 20-minute drive away, and if we forgot something, we could come back for it. But we could just get the feeling for everything. Hooking and unhooking and backing and setting up and tearing down, and without having to drive for 3 hours and realize you forgot a key piece of equipment.
Yeah. I mean, I think with my camping experience and whatnot, I'll probably get 90% of it, but I'll probably forget 10% of it and say, oh yeah, I needed this or I needed that, and that goes into the trailer the next time, and yeah.
And then after doing that a half a dozen times, you'll dump 20% of it.
Right, exactly. You'd be like, why did I even bring this? Right. Yeah. And you keep yours in your driveway at your house. You don't store it somewhere, correct?
No, in the winter months, we clean out a spot in the garage, and it goes in the garage, and the cars have to get snowed on all winter. But in the summer, it just sits in the driveway.
Gotcha. Okay. Very good. I'm running through my questions here, and I think that we hit all of our questions, and we've had some other questions in the chat. Anything else on your list, Michael?
I think that's just about that. Yeah, that was it. So it's
cool.
You'll learn. The best part about the new camper, the new trailer is learning how to use it, and you'll have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can't wait, and my friends that have RVs are starting to send me emails and saying, hey, do you want to go camping this weekend or that weekend, or what are you doing? And I haven't gotten into it yet, so first I had to block out some weekends, and then I did get the ham radio contest calendar out and figure out what weekends I'm going to contest, and when can I go camping and when I can't go camping. So anyway, it's been fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun time.
Yep, we keep ours in the summer months. It's fully stocked, so all we got to do is clothes and food. So it's we're good to take a weekend off, and the kids wonder why we're always gone. It's great.
All right. Very good. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate you being on the channel.
Pleasure.
this was great. I've learned a ton. I think we've maybe we've even turned some more people on to getting a teardrop and getting out there and camping. It's getting a little cold out for most of the United States, but you know, you can start dreaming now and saving your money, and maybe you can get a teardrop in the spring. Who knows?
There you go. Yeah, spring will be here soon enough.
It will. So anyway, link to Michael's channel below if you're not subscribed. Like I said, I can't believe that anybody on this stream is not subscribed to Michael. He's got about 70,000 subscribers. So, you know, if you don't know who Michael is, you're living underneath a rock. You know?
There you go. You're missing out.
You're missing out. He streams and he puts out a video every week. And
every week, it's amazing.
Yeah. Yep. He's on my list to watch every week, and yeah, good channel. You'll learn a lot. He's a good mentor. So anyway, that is it. Yeah, very good. We'll be back this coming Monday. If you're watching this live, is the new CW Operators Roundtable. We're going to be talking to Scott, and he's going to be showing off his Morse Monkey demo. And then we've got another stream next Thursday. I've got Max NG7M, and he's going to be talking about cluster servers. We're going to learn all about all of the cool things you can do with cluster servers that you didn't know you could do. I guarantee you're going to learn something on how to manipulate cluster servers like you want them to. So anyway, that is the channel stuff that's coming up. Thanks all. And again, thanks, Michael, for being on the channel.
Oh, yeah. Hey, it's a pleasure.
All right. Very good. Thanks, everyone. 73.
73.